It's Wednesday and I'm going to send this out just as as it's getting hotter. Some people want to come out a little bit earlier than I can get out here and wondering what they can do or what needs to be done. So I'm just going to kind of run through, see what's out here, and anyway. So this bed, the grass, of course, can be pulled up. The main thing to leave is the sweet potatoes, see if they do anything. I think the tomatoes and eggplants take off maybe the sick leaves, leave the top leaves, see what happens. But we got sweet potatoes, there's some peppers here, don't know if they're gonna do much of anything. Nothing in here. Sweet potatoes here, and these are peanuts. So we'll see if they actually take off and do much. But so leave this one at least. Now the things that are flowering are some kind of weed, and then the grass. Somebody's got a lot of excess of energy. The salvia, the grass can be pulled out of that. These rows, grass could be pulled out of if you really wanted to. If not, we're probably going to cover them. This row that's got the okra in the middle, down the middle, right here, as they're getting bigger, some of the small ones can be pulled out, leave the tallest ones, and eventually those are going to be thinned out to about 1 plant every foot to 2 foot. Leave the beans as they are. They do not need to be thinned. Actually, I'd like them to be thicker, but the okra themselves down the middle ultimately can be about 1 every foot to 2 feet, and that'd be just fine. These tomatoes struggling. Basil looks good, but not going real gangbusters. Sweet potatoes holding their own, starting to grow a little bit. Sunflowers actually doing better than I expected. Look like they may even start doing some small sunflowers in there. This bed, one good thing about this, now this was weeded and mulched almost a week ago, and I think with it being hotter and drier, the nut sedge is not coming back as heavy. It likes a lot more moisture, so that gives a little bit of hope that we might be able to get ahead of it a little bit. If somebody really wanted to get in here, they can. If not, the squash is not doing much, so this will may get covered with plastic, mulched and covered in plastic as well. This bean row can be weeded from the nut sedge. Don't worry about this row, and don't worry about that row. It's going to get covered with plastic. We've actually got some green beans. There's actually green beans here, bush beans. So this can be weeded if somebody wanted to. This area seems to be doing a lot. Might get a little bit of production right there. These are just struggling. This would be a quick bed to pull some of the grass out of. There's not as much. It's not as much. Again, with it getting drier and hotter, I think the nut sedge is just not as vigorous, which finally give us a little bit of a break. Same here. Nut sedge can be pulled. These, they're not really ready to pull, although I don't know they're going to do much more. So within the next week or two, this bed may get cleared out, and if the compost is halfway ready, it may get another layer of compost and either cover in plastic to sit in place for a little while, or I may have some more sweet potato slips I could put in there. If somebody wanted to clean on this row, they could. Don't worry about this one. I'm bringing plastic. I'm going to finish doing plastic over this one. There's a few little weeds in all these areas. If you've got some twine or whatever you want to bring, these could probably, are getting to the point they could probably tie it up a little bit. I may have a couple of cages to bring. These are the cucumbers. I kind of laid a couple over the top to let them start kind of climbing this. if somebody's got some steaks or something they want to bring for the ones that don't have anything. Got a small tomato on this one. And then if you really feel energetic, this can be turned. Just turn it one side or the other. Well, you have to wait till I get here with the water hose anyway. So I say tomorrow I will probably be turning this and watering it in again, trying to keep it. I mean, it needs to be watered more often, but we're just not somebody out here every day. So I'll be turning and watering that again. If you happen to have some kitchen scraps, bring a bucket of kitchen scraps on Thursday, not necessarily Friday. And then when I turn it, we'll incorporate those kitchen scraps into the pile. I mean, you see the coffee from the Verb coffee shop. But that's about it. I mean, turning compost, maybe tying or staking up a few plants that are getting tall enough to actually do that. These cowpeas are actually looking pretty darn good now that and they're actually starting to flower. This is the Mexican version of a cowpea. And that's about what we got to do. I'll be laying out plastic, you know, Thursday and Friday I'll be laying out plastic, turning the compost pile, and pulling grass probably.